Hello guys, we are going to review some stuff off of episodes 1 and 2 so that we see some options that occur during our opponent's reactions to things that we're doing. Okay, so on episode 1, right, we started in a side control, and in episode 2 we talked about how this knee comes in as a recovery, and there are two different things that they do. They short shrimp and long shrimp. So we want to talk about, right now, today, we're going to talk about that short shrimp and the things that you'll see in the sequencing. So nothing is forced and everything is off of our opponent's reactions. So in this set, we're going to go quick review. We were in the side control set, and he starts to bring that knee line in. Okay, that knee line position will have different settings, right? Sometimes the knee line might be facing me, where it's this wedge. Sometimes it just may come in here, right, slightly elevated. We're going to deal with both. Okay, so the first one that we're going to deal with is that any time that it starts to come in and make separation with me, there's always the option on a short shrimp. Return to the first set. Right, I'm in here. He starts to shrimp. The moment it does, we said before that we were going to shelve it. If I see the opportunity to shelve it, right, it's incredibly important that we were starting here with our hand on our sternum. We're just going to make this pocket where we're going to take the hand on this shelf, lace it over to his knee line, collapse the pocket so the knee line doesn't sit through, and there goes my inside heel hook option on this turn. We're going to see a second variation of that where the person, right, makes a little bit too much distance because the game changes in a matter of 2 to 4 inches. So if he made too much separation, if I sit back and start thinking that I can fall back, that outside leg is going to curl in and I'll be too late on the read, and now we're in the scramble for who gets up first. So if I've seen it and read it correctly, because at the higher levels it's about reading reaction speed. If I've read it correctly, on the first one, he brought it in, and there was an efficiency that I brought my hand from his sternum straight up, caught his knee line, and I sat back. But on this sequence, as he starts to come out too far, I realized if I sit back, the recovery is too easy. So you're going to have an option, and I want to explain this. If you're playing an IBJJ set, in that rule setting, we can't do reverse heel hooks. Here at the Hunter Gracie Academy, heel hooks are allowed. They become very famous out of this academy. So it's no problem, and depending on the competition that you're playing, it's fine with sitting back, but you have to read that rule set. In IBJJ, we can't read or catch a reverse heel hook. They're both illegal and they both disqualify you. So we have to understand when we're going to do both. So if I go back to the second explanation in the sequence, when he came out, I realized he's making too much spacing. I'm not going to sit back. What I'm going to do is almost that same frog hop that we talked about earlier, where I frog hop underneath, and what I'm looking to do is create a wall with my groin area on the outside of the MCL so that I start bringing him over. I have to understand what he wants to do. He wants to make spacing to curl that leg over the top, right? If I understand his mechanics, for him to do it efficiently, he's got to get the hip line out to curl that guy over. So if I go back to the first, right, how I explained it, he's too far away for me to sit back, or I'm playing a competition where inside heel hooks are illegal. So if I do that same frog hop, as I create this barrier on his pelvic area and that guy's coming over, it's easy for me to guide him over because he has no stability on that side. There's no cantilever set that prevents me, come back again. When I brought that hip line out and he started trying to recover, as I bring this barrier of my pelvic area up, that's what guides him back, and now I'm able to either take side control or hunt in some form of the upper body. So if you've seen this correctly, he starts to go, we're going to go a little bit faster, he starts coming up. this is what you're seeing, is me pop up to create this barrier in the MCL, and now my opportunities are quite a lot. So you have to understand that you read it correctly. He's gonna have points where he just came out a little bit, right? So I had the option. He came out a little bit more. The option's not there anymore. So what am I going to do? Create the barrier on the MCL to bring him up, and now reset my side control set, where I either score on a pass or I start hunting more submissions.